Good, beautiful morning, and welcome to the Friday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul, where you literally have shortcuts for your soul, literally so that your soul can awaken. My name is William Michael Forrest. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And today is a brand new, beautiful day. Today I have with me the energy of a collective that I love working with called the Divine Collective. And they want to talk about soul awakenings now. And this is all about the ascension movement that's unfolding on this planet right now. This ascension movement is essentially people awakening to who they really are. The suffering and pain that you see going on the planet is forcing people to look somewhere else for happiness and fulfillment other than in the world. This process of our soul awakening is literally a process of you learning to distinguish between who you have been conditioned to believe you are and who you truly are as a functioning, conscious, intelligent, creative individual in this dimension. Your soul is awakening now, and there is a process that is universal to every soul in its journey to awaken from unconsciousness to consciousness. And it is a beautiful day, isn't it? As we'll go into this, the simplicity of this is always what astounds me the most. Whenever they talk to me about our souls awakening, the ascension movement, the simplicity with which they say can be executed is so simple that it can be hard to actually observe it, to actually recognize that you are awakening. A lot of people that are in emotional turmoil right now do not realize that they're being placed in a position to decide between fear and love, suffering and creation, because they're two different functions. Coming to the understanding that you are an organism of consciousness that lives in a physical medium of expression. Your body is a medium, a mechanism, a device, if you will, through which you express a variety of actions which are a manifestation of energy and thought combined. The unique structure of thoughts and ideas organizes this substance called energy, which you might be more familiar with as emotion. Emotion is the energy that drives all of your physical activities. Emotion is the substance that drives all of your physical activities. Thoughts and ideas structure that emotion into a specific or particular expression. The thought and idea of happiness and joy being connected to, say, a beautiful walk through your favorite forest can evoke a certain emotion in your body. And that emotion can evoke an action where you go to that forest because the idea and the emotion placed together with the thought drives that action into manifestation. And this is true with all human actions. There is no human action that cannot occur that does not have a thought, an idea connected to an emotion. Thoughts and ideas structure specific emotions. Your emotions that you are feeling at any moment are structured because of the thoughts and ideas that you are holding in your mind. Even if someone has given you a thought or an idea and you hold that thought and idea in your mind, it is very precise in how it will organize your experience of your energy, which is emotion. Your emotion is your energy. It is what you have to direct matter to function for you. The actions of your body cannot occur without this element of idea, thought, and emotion. Without thought and idea, no emotion is possible, which is what meditation, the process of placing your mind in a state of stillness where it is not active, can generate a sensation of freedom and peace, which are not precisely emotions, but they are states of being. Understand the characteristic nature that emotion can only function in conjunction with thoughts or ideas that you are holding in your mind. Even if those thoughts have been placed in your mind by others, the moment you hold a thought or an idea in your mind, it will organize and generate a specific quality of energy that you call emotion. And that emotion may be called fear, and that emotion may be called joy, and that emotion may be called anger, and that emotion may be called excitement. It does not matter what your emotion is expressing as, it requires a thought and an idea in order for that emotion to be expressing in that fashion. Even emotions that so many of you say, I don't know why I am feeling this way, is because there is a thought and an idea generating that emotion within you. For some of you, that realm of consciousness that you call the unconscious mind, that place where you put your thoughts and memories and considerations in the background so they do not disturb you in the present, they still influence and affect you. But there is not one emotion that any of you will experience that does not have a thought, an idea, in order to generate the emotion you are in. The moment you can alter or change or put the brakes upon a specific emotion by placing the thought and the idea into stillness. The moment your attention is pulled away from the thought and idea, which is connected to a specific emotion, the minute you pull your attention away from a specific thought and idea, you pull away the energy that allows that emotion to manifest as what you experience as a feeling. Our reason for coming today is that your soul awakening depends upon your ability to deliberately and consciously coordinate your ideas and thoughts as an act of conscious thinking, not to simply accept ideas and information without your due diligence in considering how will this thought and idea create an emotional expression in my experience of being. To consider any thought and idea before you indulge in it and consider what emotion would this thought and this idea create, which can be very easy for you to come to an understanding of if you simply observe the thoughts that are in your mind in a particular moment and the ideas connected to those thoughts, then you'll begin to understand much more simply why you have the emotions you have or why you do not have certain emotions that you do not have. For if your mind is filled with fear and uncertainty, how can you possibly expect to experience the vibration of love? Love and fear are very different frequencies of emotion and require very different forms of thoughts and ideas in order to manifest either one of them. The nature and quality of thoughts that generate fear are very different than the nature and quality of thoughts that generate love. And you, in the process of awakening, move to that position in your consciousness where you start to become the guardian of what thought, what ideas are entertained by your mind. And that you are able to also examine that if you are experiencing a certain quality of emotion that you do not know why you're experiencing it, you are able to observe what are the thoughts and ideas connected to this emotion. And then once you identify the thoughts and ideas connected to an emotion that you do not like, simply turn those thoughts off. Take your attention off those thoughts, off those eyes, and place them on ideas and thoughts that would generate a more favorable energy. Thought and idea are very precise and exacting in the nature and quality of emotions that will be generated through your body, which generates the actions your body will perform. Those thoughts, those ideas can be acquired through your own attention, but they can also be given to your mind from outside sources and agencies that may or may not have a vested interest in you thinking, believing, and acting in specific ways. And there are many in this world who stand to gain from you simply following thoughts and ideas without your due consideration as to their effects in terms of the emotion that they will create and therefore the behavior that will be generated through your biology. Your soul awakening is that point in your consciousness where you become aware that you can select and choose thoughts and ideas in order to generate or create specific emotional qualities which will allow you to manifest precise creations of experience while you are in this physical dimension. Please understand that you are awake, and any moment where you recognize this thought is not a thought I will choose to think, because I know that this thought will create this emotional energy. And you then begin to select consciously and deliberately what thought you will allow to occupy a place in your mind, what ideas you will give a room to in your consciousness, knowing full well that thoughts and ideas generate very precise and specific emotional qualities in varying degrees of intensity. Soul, you are awakened in this moment when you recognize you are not your thoughts, that you are the chooser of these things, that you are not the ideas that you have in your mind, that you can choose and change these things, but that these things also you recognize create emotional qualities that you recognize as the sensations of feeling that you experience, which also determines the actions that your body will perform in any given moment. If you have an angry thought and you have an angry idea, you'll have an angry emotion, and certain actions will issue forth from those thoughts and ideas in the form of a physical expression, because that's what emotion does. It directs your body to action. Whether you are conscious of the thoughts or not, it does not matter. The principle remains true. The moment a thought and idea are generated, they combine and produce a specific quality of energy in the form we call emotion, which creates an action. And we have heard many of you say to us, I don't know why I did that, or I don't know why I said that. And we say to you, it is simply not that anything is wrong with you, but simply that you were not conscious of the thought and idea that was generating that action. And until you become aware that you can become conscious in any moment, and when you do, you are a soul awakening. The moment you become conscious, this emotion that does not feel good, what is the thought and idea connected to it? Oh, the thought is I'm not very happy. And that thought, I'm not very happy, creates this emotion I'm feeling. And now you are awake and you say, well, I will choose not to think this thought. I will choose to place that thought into stillness, into silence. I will choose to let that thought be liberated and released from my mind. And I will choose to bring in a new thought that will generate a different energy, for thoughts are very precise in terms of how they will organize qualities of energy in the form of emotion as expressions through your body. And there is no action in the human realm that does not involve this process. But you are not simply a body, and you are not simply the thoughts in your mind, and you are not simply the ideas and emotions and memories that make up the personality that you believe you are. You are a soul here in the process of awakening your consciousness and your awareness to the potential you have as a creating intelligence, able to articulate qualities of energy that direct the body to express, to produce many wondrous and remarkable creations, as equally as many destructive and damaging creations. There's no judgment from the perspective of what you do, other than the effects that you will experience from the creations that you generate through your mind and through the emotional energy that directs your body into actions. We wanted this to be very simple. Soul awakenings are happening on a scale never before seen in your modern history. And each of you in your suffering must remember that in order for there to be suffering, there must be a thought, an idea that generates an emotion. And the moment you change that thought and that idea, the emotion will begin to change. And now you are coming home to put your house in order, to place your mind and your body and your energy, which is emotion, into the service you wish it to carry out for you. But equally true, when you are focused and feeling on these beautiful, wondrous feelings of love and joy and excitement and compassion and playfulness, and you're feeling those, they too follow the exact same principle, that there must be a thought, an idea that generates a particular emotional quality that directs your body to express in very specific and precise ways at all points of your existence in this physical dimension. In fact, in all points of your existence throughout creation, whether you are in that body or not in that body. The goal that we hope to achieve is that in this process of awakening your soul to the realization that you are not your thoughts, that you are not the ideas in your mind, that you generate emotions with thoughts and ideas, that then you can move into a process of deliberate creation, where your manifestations are acts of your deliberate conscious will to produce very precise and desired experiences in your expression. And in your awakening, as you become more cognizant, present with who you are as a creating intelligence, no longer subjective to the memories of the past, no longer subjective to the thoughts given to you by the world, no longer bound by so-called random emotions. There are no random emotions. There are energies that are produced in certain qualities that require certain thoughts, whether they are conscious or unconscious, that produce those emotions. But as you come to this awakening, you are not your thoughts. You are not the emotions. You are not the body. These are instruments that you use. As you come to that understanding, you are awakening. Your sense of who you are shifts from being the localized identity that the world has provided for you to a place of perception that allows you to deliberately become the architect of your thoughts, the creator of your own mind, and thereby the creator of your own emotional energy, which results in the manifestations that you experience that you call your life in this physical dimension. But from this perspective of awareness, that you can do this, you are free in this place. In this place, you begin to awaken. You no longer will feel threatened by the world around you or the world within you as you begin to recognize your authority in altering and changing thoughts, ideas, and therefore emotional qualities that are generated as a result of their combination in the biology of that physical form that you are currently hearing these words through. But in this awareness, you are awakening, and there are many of you in your suffering, whether you know it or not, are in a process of choosing to awaken. Know this, that your suffering is not caused by the world around you, nor the actions of others your fault, but each and every one of you is the generator of ideas and thoughts that create very specific emotional qualities that determine very precise expressions. The acts of war and the acts of peace follow the same creative process, in that one has a series of thoughts and ideas that generate very specific emotional expressions that cause actions in the physical dimension. And so the question you have to ask yourself then, what are the thoughts in the minds of those that are doing these things? Question this. For those who would perpetuate acts of war are those that have acts of war in their own mind. Those who have fear of these things will have those experiences. And this is not a judgment. This is a simple analysis that certain qualities of thoughts and ideas generate very specific expressions of energy that cause actions of the body. The acts of war and the acts of peace follow the exact same creative process, but differ in their manifestation and in the presentation of their effect in this dimension of time and space, which you find yourself experiencing in that little point you call your body. We hope that you will join yourself in this journey of awakening, and that you will join the many millions upon millions of others who are awakening to these simple truths, that your thoughts and the ideas that you are holding in your mind, that you may have acquired yourself or have been given to you by your environment, these thoughts and emotions generate very precise and specific qualities of the sensation of feeling that cause the actions of your body. What you will eat and what you will drink, who you will meet, who you will ignore, all actions in the realm of humanity are based in this very simple truth, that thoughts and ideas combine to create a very specific energy that you call emotion, that directs the actions of your biology, that causes the actions. The actions of all humans follow this rule. The acts of all beings follow this rule, whether they are in this dimension or beyond. The process of creation, of combining certain qualities of idea and thought, generates very specific constitutional energies that produce behaviors. This is existent not only on the level of the individual, it exists on the level of the cosmic. Even the planets and stars that you see are a combination of thoughts and ideas expressing the physical output of the nature and quality of the ideas and thoughts that those entities combine in their expression, and you see the physical result. What you see as a sun in the sky is a different form of consciousness that you, from the perspective of being human, cannot comprehend from that perspective. But if you understand this simple principle, that that is a consciousness that has certain qualities of thinking, certain qualities of ideas that are generating an energy that is its emotion that you call this light or this heat from this extension from its consciousness. But this principle is universal, regardless of the substance. Regardless of the substance, the process of creation is simple and universal, and you could say multidimensional as well. So know this: if you are awakening as you are, become conscious of the thoughts and the ideas that you are holding in mind. And remember, there is no emotion that you can experience that does not also have an idea and a thought behind it. And that the moment you change the thought and the idea, you change the expression of the energy, the emotion that you are experiencing at any given time. We encourage you to come and join with us tomorrow, where we will take you on a journey of experiencing the truth of what we say. And it is very simple. A simple few minutes of your time tomorrow to come and experience how you, as the soul awakening, can begin the process of deliberately and intelligently changing the frequency of qualities of emotion, so that you come to know that emotions are not random experiences, that they're not random things occurring within you or around you, that they have a structure that you can alter and change very deliberately and precisely. You are not the thoughts, you are not the ideas, you are not the emotions, you are the one that has them to utilize in the process of learning the function of creation, much the same way as the sun above the sky that you see is a manifestation of creation, of a consciousness that has evolved to that state of expression, as you are a consciousness evolved to the state of expression that you call human in that individualized body. As you would say that the planet you call this earth is a manifestation of consciousness evolving that you see expressing as it is expressing, that the actions of that planetary body is outpictured by the manifestations of movement that you see in your experience of time and space around you. But come with us tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be calling this calming the emotions. Calming the emotions, where you have the opportunity to bring to yourself the awareness that you already possess, to become conscious that you are the awareness, that you can alter and affect the energy that you call emotion. Whether you are aware of what causes that emotion or not at this time is not what's important, but that you are aware that you have an emotion that you would like to change, then come and join us tomorrow. And we will show you a very simple way to begin to remember that you are a soul awakening. You are a soul awakening. Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate this. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I want to thank the Divine Collective for being with us today. If you have any questions or want to make any comments about the content you've heard today, please leave a question in the comment section below. You know, if you want to support this channel, you can do this through my Patreon page. You can do this through the super thanks and the super chats. But give this video a thumbs up and remember to subscribe to the channel and share it if you can with other people. We are not here to suffer. We are here to learn to create. They keep telling this again and again. You did not come here to suffer. You came here to learn to create. And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with any of you except that you do not understand your process of creation. And when you understand your process of creation, you will become free. You'll be the free being that you know and desire yourself to be. Well, hi, Adam. Good morning. Hi, Lauren. Question from Adam. What is the principle in which two or more spirits can unify their consciousness into a singular being, and what metaphysical properties can either allow, disallow integration, and how? So just so people understand, what he's asking is what happens when two different energy potentials, two souls that are awakened, you can say male and female, come together on the level of biology. Let's go here deeply. On the level of biology, it is the male body and the female body coming together to generate an energy called a child. So a new creation emerges from the union of those two physical forms. And what he's asking from Pan is, what is the process of creation with two souls, two sentient beings that come together energetically? He says the same principle remains true. The mechanisms are not what's important. The result is. Understand this. The mechanisms are not important. The result is. Always the result. It is creation that occurs when you bring two differing potentials together, that the manifestation will be unique and distinct with any two coupling of that process. In other words, if you have four individuals and two come together, the creative manifestation of those two may be very different because of the nature and quality of those individuals. But what is important is to understand the nature and quality that each of those individuals bring to it will determine the nature and quality of the manifestation. Even on the level of your, what you call your genetics with human procreation, you can see very clearly that the dispositions of the mother and father biologically are handed off to the children as potentials, as equally as the quality of their thoughts and their emotions are handed off to that individual as potentials. Whether those potentials are what you would call positive or negative is not what's important, but that you understand the process is. That you understand the process of when you bring two or more together, you are creating something very unique and distinct. That is what you need to understand. So who then would you bring yourself to, and for what purpose? And who would come to you, and what would their purpose be? Please understand this. If you understand that the process that you're engaging is more important than the mechanisms, then you will have a much more exciting time in your process of creation. Wow. Thank you, Adam. Good question. Hello, Elena. Question. What was happening an hour ago as my soul was super energized and brightened? Who was helping? I am still energized, pressure in my head, tingling in my feet all over. Okay, you've got a connection. You've got a connection going on with Gaia for starters. I'm being told to tell you to go out and get your feet, bare feet on the grass near a tree. They're saying it needs to be an oak tree. It would be best. Oak tree would be best, but choose the next best to that. But they're saying oak tree would be best. Get your bare feet on it. Get close to the tree. The one around your head is being very elusive right now. They do not want to be identified in this format. They don't want to be identified in this format. But Gaia is trying to ground you, because when you get higher frequency energies, you need to bring it into the body, right? A lot of people bring energy in the body through food, but these higher frequency energies from this, and this is not just a male, it's not just one, there's actually more than one there. Yeah, but there's no disclosure for this. That will be disclosed to you in this process. You go out to the tree, get your feet on the ground, connect with that tree. They'll be known to you. And the word, I'm being told to give you these words: know what love is. Know what love is. Just those words. Know what love is. And it's KNOW. Know what love is. Yeah. And there's different ways that can be interpreted. So I'm just handing it to you as the way I'm hearing the words, the structure. Know what love is. I don't want to assign a meaning to it that may not be true. Great. Thank you so much, Elena. Question from Lauren. Is the wolf and owl my animal spirit totems? What about horse? Before the question was even finished, it's not an either or. These will change as you change. The nature and quality of the consciousness of these individual, what you call totems, alters and changes by the nature of your evolution. Understand that if you are able to shift your consciousness, then the beings that will relate to you will change. As you were in kindergarten one day and you had certain friends in kindergarten and you changed and those friends changed, as you evolve and change your consciousness, then these beings that work with you will also likewise change and evolve. You are all evolving, whether you are in that body or not in that body, whether you're in this dimension or not in that dimension. All is evolving, transforming, transmuting, and changing by the nature and quality of their creative process, their creative energies. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Lauren. Question from Moran. I dreamed that I was kneeling to give birth in a sitting position. I am alone. I am quite calm. I do not really remember the rest. What is the message, please? Thank you. If you've heard them, I'm just being told to tell you, if you heard what we have said to you today, then please take heart and be mindful of what you are giving birth to, for it is coming to fruition. It is coming to fruition. You are almost ready to receive it. Yes. Look at what your dominant they're saying tell her to look at what her dominant creations are. So whatever you're thinking about bringing into your life that's new, that's what's happening. The one that's got your most attention, that's what you're bringing into this physical dimension as your experience. So I'm excited for you, whatever that is. It's got to be really good to feel that way about it, to have that kind of energy connect to it. Very excited. And when that happens, please share your experience on the channel in the comment section with others so they can see and be inspired by your change and transformation as well. Thank you, Moran. Question from Bida. Aside from meditation, how can I remove fear? It's not easy, as the fear has been the consequences of previous negative experiences. Yes. There's a great joy for you in this question. You must understand that which was before is still within your body. You must liberate those fears from your body. You must liberate the fears from your body, not the memory. The fear that your body remembers from those experiences. You see, your body remembers in order to survive, but you do not need memory in order to exist as a soul. But your body has used memory to survive through billions of years of its experience in this physical dimension. And so it utilizes memory. And so it remembers your suffering so that it will not occur again. So it can be aware if that sign of being hurt again comes around, it will know what to do. But if you wish to purge the fear, join us tomorrow. We will show you how to purge the fear. The process of letting it out of the body is key. And that does not mean you express it. You simply release it from the body. But again, we will be going through this process tomorrow with those of you who choose to join us during that. Wow. Thank you. Question from Vertical. Seemingly, nature emits music, crystals, radiant colors, and light. If we all could perceive any of those frequencies, wouldn't our lives forever be serene? Yes and no. You must understand that the levels and interactions of creation are not localized to this physical dimension. The process of creation demands that change will occur in matter, time, and space, and in other dimensional realms. The very nature of creation necessitates change as being a prerequisite for evolution. For you to evolve your consciousness, there must be change as a consequence of your creative process in order for you to evolve. Serenity is an effect that occurs in the knowledge that while you may create things and that experiences will change, that you yourself fundamentally remain as the creator, recognizing that the process of creation can be deliberately orchestrated by you, can be deliberately arbitrated by you. I don't know why they're saying that word. Understand this, that you as the soul are always serene. But the process of creation is dynamic and changing. And that is exciting. That is where you get your experience of creation. But always in your essence, you will remain serene. You are an awakened soul in that state. But in the process of creation, you get to experience the effects of your causes. Physically, emotionally, and environmentally, you are experiencing the effects of your creative process. That does not diminish nor detract from the nature of who you truly are, beautiful soul, wonderful divine creator, existing through this expression of time and space. You will always be serene, but in the process of creation, you delight in the dance of change. And what better thing to do than to delight in the dance of your own creation? Although some of you have not learned the process of creation sufficiently enough to enjoy it as an experience that you can say, I love experiencing and creating. Some of you are experiencing suffering and saying, I don't want to be experiencing this process of creation, but you're experiencing it so that you can learn to create, that you can transcend the process of creation that causes suffering into the process of creation that causes joy. It is a creation. Individually and collectively, we see that among your entire species. There is individual creation and there is collective creation. There are even pockets of this where you see entire gatherings of nations that are causing certain creations and other gatherings of nations that are causing other creations. It is all about creation, all. And what you think and what you hold as ideas creates the substance of energy that causes the action that you observe as the phenomena of change in time and space. Wow. Thank you. Great question. Question from Katrina. How do you strengthen your aura? Wow, great question, Katrina, and a lot of excitement. I got a bunch of beings that are just jumping up and down about this. It's really like because there's so many. Yeah, hang on, guys, slow down. Okay, it depends on what level of the field you're concerned with. If you're concerned about the field that your body is generating for the auric field of your body, if you want the field of your body to be a higher potential, then you want to be mindful of what you're putting into the body in the form of food, water, air, environment. You want to be mindful because the body has its own field. You look at an animal that does not have awareness the way you have awareness, but it has a soul. It generates, dogs and cats generate pretty much the same auric field, and it's pretty consistent. The only time their personalities deviate is when they interact with different potentials. So you can reorganize the auric field of your body, but that can also be affected by the way the field of energy emanated from the mind. In the nature, the composite of thoughts and ideas in your mind generates a composite of electrical energy that then affects the body. And you can affect the body from the level of mind, and you can affect the mind from the level of body if you understand the process. So be mindful, for you yourself are also a potential of what you call an auric field. In some of your Eastern mystical teachings on this dimension, there are examples of where you have many fields around the body, but we would say there are many elements to that field that you would call the body, the mind, the emotions, the awareness, the spirit, that all contribute to this vast rainbow of energy that surrounds your body that you call an auric field. So you may work on one specifically, or you may work on them generally. The choice becomes yours. But we have found in our experience that for those of you that learn to utilize thought, idea in a deliberate act of manifesting particular qualities of emotion have the greatest success with altering, adjusting, and changing what you call the auric fields? Wow, great question. Question from Daniela. Ivana in Italy has started to paint deliberately and intentionally pictures mixing colors with water. What message do you have for her? Let's see. It is pleasing to us. Hopefully it is also pleasing to her. Any act of creation is something that is remarkable and delightful, at least from the perspective where you are not necessarily subject to the process of creation. All creation is divine in its execution, whether it is the manifestation of the war or the manifestation of what you call peace. They are still manifestations of a divine function. The act of creation is incredible if you understand it. But one gets to define the nature and quality of creation by the nature and quality of the thoughts and ideas that generate the emotions that cause the expression. That process is divine. Whether your perspective may say this is good or this is bad, and that will be true from that perspective, but the process of all creation is divine in nature. The process in all creation is divine in nature. Wow, great. Got time for one more question from, hi Christopher. Question. While I was enjoying the redwood forests a few weeks ago, I felt like I became one with the forest. Will you please explain how I am tied to this location on the planet? Thank you. They're saying you're tied to that location because you're choosing to connect to that frequency of consciousness. The time duration of the physical dimension, that is the time and space that these entities exist in, is a much longer range of experience in time and space than the biology you currently exist in. You simply yearn for the understanding and realization that you are not bound by time nor space nor matter. These beings that you call the redwoods, these wonderful ancient souls of this physical dimension, understand that these ones have learned to exist in stillness for hundreds and some for even thousands of years, being able to exist in that exquisite state of being straight. And so align yourself to this understanding that you too may exist in that state within that body, to be aligned in a state of pure peace, and to let that expression of peace speak loudly through the silence in how it affects the world around you. Be that vibration. It is not the place, it is the remembering. It is the remembering that you are as they are as you are. And in being that, observe what your life shall become. Do not think that you are connected to the forest when the forest believes it is connected to you. But wherever you go, that peace that you think is they is you. And be that peace wherever you are, and observe what the world does around you. The awe that you experience with those dear ones is the awe that others will come to experience with you when you assume full authority over that divine estate that you also exist in. Wow. Thank you, Christopher. Well, guys, it has been a blast today. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Divine Collective, for coming in. So please come and join us tomorrow, which is Saturday, June the 4th, Calming Your Emotions. And that's going to be with the Divine Collective tomorrow morning. They're going to take us on a short process of learning to recognize that you are a soul. You have thoughts, you have memories, you have emotions, but you're not them. And they're going to show you how you can calm those energies down, how you can learn to shift and change emotional energy as an act of your soul. And we are in this time of ascension, and you beautiful beings, there are so many of us waking up right now. There's so many of you waking up. All over the world, people are awakening. They are awakening from their deep slumber, from their entrapment to thought, from their entrapment to memory. People are awakening. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not your memory. You are a divine soul here to learn that you are a creator in this dimension of physical world. I want to give you a quick preview of next week. Monday, June the 6th, I hope you're going to join me. I've got a being by the name of Methuselah coming in, and he's calling it Start Your Journey Home. So this is going to be Methuselah on Monday, June the 6th. Start your journey home now. And he told me to put in brackets, here, now. So that's underneath it. So that'll be this Monday, June the 6th. I hope you'll join me with Methuselah. I don't know if this is the biblical Methuselah. They just told me that it was Methuselah that was coming in. And then Wednesday, June the 8th, we're going to be having a communication on the tree of life. I'm really excited. I don't know what I mean, but I just feel very excited about that. Wednesday, June the 8th, the tree of life. And then next Friday, and I don't know who it is yet, Friday, June the 10th, the gift you can give to the future. And that'll be next Friday. I want to thank all of my patrons for your support. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this 4 times a week. So thank you so much for your support. And I know some of you have been with us for the full time we've been running this program. So thank you so much, patrons. I really appreciate that. And for those of you that have come to the channel and new subscribers, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Share this information out and click the notification bell so you get notified whenever we come live on this channel. And again, I want to thank all of you for joining us here today. Have yourselves a wonderful and joyful day. Oh, for those of you that want to learn a little bit more about mediumship, please let me put this out real quick. For those of you that want to learn a little bit more about mediumship, go to my website. We got our ongoing summer program coming up. Our mediumship master classes begin July the 8th with our mediumship beginners masterclass. And you can go register for that course right now. It's at williammichaelforbes.com, and I'll look forward to seeing some of you in that course. Much love, all of you. Have a wonderful and joyful day. Bye for now.